All right. Next question comes from Monstratus, who asks, if you were to choose the next big ships they would mic drop, what would they be called and what would it do? I'm going to start with this one. He's basically, and the next big ship, they would just be like, it's here, it's done, you can go play with it. Hear me out on this. This is something I've talked about before, but I'm going to pitch it to you. A Crusader police ship. Not a bounty hunting ship, but a police ship, which would be used for bounty hunters, similar to, say, like the Bebop in Cowboy Bebop.
The Crusader Savior.
Yeah, something like that. So you have a place for you can land an Avenger, and it's got cargo. Doesn't really have a lot of cargo space. It has like places where you can sleep. It's got places for to hold prisoners. It has like a holding bay, like a jail cell where you can hold people in, like, for interrogations or for transportation. And it's got an armory for weapons, and that's it. It's just like maybe about the same size as like a hammerhead.
That would go with their current law, wouldn't it? You know, they used to help people and freedom fighters. Now it's the anti-freedom fighter ship. You know, cells to hold their those people that not an anarchist.
The Nine Tails, the outlaws,
the people that complain. No,
protesters.
Protesters. That's it. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry,
rabble.
Yeah,
rabble. Oh, rabble. Sorry. Actually, good. I think you mean it. Rabble.
Yeah. So not necessarily two, but like one small fighter, and like being able to like transport, people to it, and then you can use it as a prisoner transport, or like a mobile police station, or a bounty hunter, like mobile like living place. So
I'll just point out, Paul, that Sandgroper said students. Students.
Yeah, that tracks too. Al,
I thought you'd appreciate that.
Any big ships that you would like to see? If you could choose the next big ship, they would just mic drop. They would just deliver directly. What would it be?
If it was one I could acquire, a carrier, a proper carrier, something like the Pegasus or something like that, so that I could put my ships on it and solve my shipping problem. It'd be nice to see the cruisers. That'd be nice.
That's a good. Sorry, I got to say that's a good name by Unknown Guardian, Crusader Paladin.
Yeah,
that's a good goddamn name. Yeah, I like that.
But I do like the idea of a Crusader police ship.
Yeah.
But then I always come back to Mr. Dave Haddock's comment when we had the interview with him, Paul, and he talked about Crusader and said they are well-meaning, but they have no gumption to govern. They just can't govern.
Yeah.
And it was well-meaning but hopeless at governing. And I can't see them having a police station or police, hence why their new police station, their new processing plant is still not really functioning properly yet.
Loken,
Korea.
If you got a choice of the next kind of bigger ship that they drop?
I've been thinking about this actually since you asked it. I've thought about this for a long time actually. It'll be Anvil Aerospace. It'll be a capital ship, and I would like it to be a ship that rivals or exceeds the Idris in size. I want it to be called the Daedalus. I want it to be a proper fucking battleship, a ship of the line, absolutely out there, taking the fight to the enemy. I want to see it in resplendent in Anvil Aerospace colors and all this armor plating. Give it to me, please.
Unfortunately, the name's already been leaked, and it's called the Anvil Liberation. Because they like to cross problems like the same name in all their ships. I'm just kidding. But man, that's been an ongoing one for years. Like, and people want an Anvil capital ship.
I really want an Anvil capital ship.
It's something they've teased. I have a theory that they wanted to do that around the same time as the Perseus. Like that was going to be the one after the Perseus. But then they looked at their ship roster and was like, no more. We can't do any bigger ships. We can't sell any bigger ships because if we start selling those bigger ships, it'll just take too much. It takes us too long with too many people. We need to slow down, get more people on board. And then they had the whole problem with the Banning Merchantman team leaving, and so they've just been like, nixing out anything that's bigger than a large and just be like, you can't do it.
Yep.
So,
and I think last year's Galaxy and Aristrata this year kind of speak to that. They're both kind of the large ships, not capital, because they know they're things that they can promise, but not over-promise.
But I think there's somewhere in CIG's files is a concept for an Anvil like frigate or Anvil.
I think it
must
was a
Corvette somewhere.
It's Corvette is what we've been hearing, and it's been like 5 or 6 years. We've heard of things that like some things I know we've heard now that I think is bullshit, but we've been hearing things for years, like it had 2 rail guns, one on each side, and all this type of shit. And it doesn't have a flight deck like the Idris. It's just all guns, so it's kind of more like a javelin but smaller. And when it comes out,
it's like an assault boat.
Like I think we can all agree that every major ship manufacturer will get a large capital of some sort eventually. So they'll probably end up being like 10 of them at the end or something. Or however many
Drake and Origin and Aegis and RSI already have those. So and Consolidated Outland does too, because it's got the Pioneer. So so it's just like, I don't know, Argo and what's the other one?
RSI's kind of got one too with the Origin. The Orion, sorry, the Orion's so big, like it's I think it's actually bigger than the Javelin. I'd have to go check again. It's very close to it either way.
So an Argo Capital ship would be a flying warehouse. That's what that would be, or a flying.
That would be fantastic. Genuinely, for a logistics organization, that's fantastic.
The Argo Amazon warehouse.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. X, you get a shot. If you had your shot on like a big ship, next big ship, they would release.
I don't really ever think about big ships. I kind of let them come. Like, I guess I've got that nickname I have for the gas collector, which is the Nebula, because that's what it's going to do. It's going to eat giant nebula, but I don't know. That's just speculation at this point. Refinery ship. We've got all of agriculture to come as well. Hunting. I think that's going to be a lot. Like you talk about bounty hunting. I think that's going to be like another little secret thing that people are going to enjoy, is like actually hunting animals and stuff. Like being like a poacher ship, or just hunting the space crabs and the it's the Yeti, but I always forget the boreal stalker, or whatever it's called. Yeah,
hunting Estonians. Yeah.
That's going to be a thing.
I really look forward to the whip crabs, the pyro crabs, because they live in colonies, and so like having a pyro crab raid would be kind of like a raid where you're just literally going to have to coordinate bombs, like, because that's the only way you're dealing with that because they have they're colonies.
Huge, aren't they?
They're 3 stories tall.
Yeah, you're going to need a line of tanks and bombs. Those A2 bombs are going to come into play, boys.
Yeah.
And God help you if I attack your colony.
Yeah, like and oh gosh, there's just those sorts of events which will let CIG kind of have those resources so they can go like, hey, why don't we just have never-ending waves of crabs for like an hour that you have to deal with? Like, because those mad lads would do it. They'd just be like let's throw 3-story tall buildings at people and see how they handle it. So
look, all I'm going to say is I'm doing my part, you doing yours. Would you like to know more?
Exactly.
Yeah. I know they're not bugs, but the crabs. That's close enough.
Same thing. Yeah.
Remember that one we came up with Dyson as well, Algrid, the manta ray, that really large kind of like espionage corvette thing. Do you remember that one?
Oh, vaguely. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
We did this episode years ago called Missing Corvettes, like talking about how there's clearly more corvettes coming, and we because right now the only ship that really kind of does e-warfare properly that's not an EMP is the Sentinel, right? So there's clearly more e-warfare stuff coming. And we're going, well, what would a bigger version of that be? And we made it like low profile and stealthy, and it kind of like a manta ray, and it kind of like really thin, and it kind of goes through. And it just had all these computer decks. So think of like merging an MSR and a Sentinel together, and essentially what it was. And I don't know, it sounded really cool to me, like just a massive hacker ship that kind of like comes in and sneaks up to you and basically steals all your shit and then leaves.
I like that idea.
No, it would have been bigger than a Saber Raven.
It'd be a Corvette. It'd be a Corvette.
It'd be a Corvette. Yeah. And we even gave ideas to like the tail. The reason why the tail hands out, it's like some kind of antenna it uses
Yeah.
to hack you and stuff. Like, so apart, you know, it was all part of it, but I can't even remember what manufacturer we ended up using. I think it was Aegis or something at the time. But yeah,
You know, I'd love to see them do a sort of a larger scale spy stealth ship. I'm
well, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm thinking immediately like Office of Naval Intelligence prowlers from Halo.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, the Oni corvettes. Yeah.
Yes. The Prowler Corps, very cool.